Hi, so this is a tutorial for some of the NASA folks on how to get up and running using the Leica BLK360 laser scanner. It's super easy to use, but I'll show you a few things about it to get you started. Comes in a little case holder thing that looks like this, so you can carry it around easy. Um, First thing you do is just twist the bottom, and when you do this, you got to hold the bottom because the two pieces come apart. So twist it so it unlocks and the top part pulls off. Um, and here's the laser scanner unit. It's not too big. It's a really small, compact thing, but it is delicate. So make sure you handle it. Don't drop it or let it fall over or anything like that. Handle it gently. A few things on the unit that you need to know about. First of all, the front of it with the Leica logo just has a power button. That's it. That's the only button on the entire thing. It's really kind of like an iPhone in that way. In the middle here you see a slot with a mirror. That mirror will spin around when it's actually taking the laser scan. And as we'll see in a minute, like it actually shoots out the laser in a plane that's sort of like this, along with the slot in the scanner. Then on the back side of it, there's several sensors, a couple cameras. There's an infrared sensor down here, so it'll take pictures while it's rotating around. And you also got the battery door down here. So to open the battery door, obviously just like that, there's a little tab. If you need to replace the battery, battery comes out, and that's the only other. That clicks when you go in. And that's really the only other button / control on the unit. Is pretty much just the power button, and that's it. I'm sending this tripod, which comes attached with this little kind of thing on top. It's a little adapter thing. It actually just adapts to any tripod, so you can use any tripod you want. You don't have to use this one. It's just a standard camera mount. And so that screws on there. Make sure it's nice and tight. There's two buttons on the side, and squeeze those together. And that clips onto the laser scanner. So that's how it mounts on the tripod. It's pretty easy. To turn it on, just press and hold that button for a second. It'll start its startup cycle, and you can see it's blinking as it's sort of doing its self-checks. And as soon as it turns green, that means you're good to go and good to scan. Alright, so there's the green. Now all you need to do to take a scan. Well, first of all, I just want to mention for the tripod, just make sure the tripod is actually stable and the legs are locked properly. We had one person once that didn't lock one of the legs entirely, and the leg collapsed while the thing was scanning, and it fell over and broke the scanner, and we had to send it back to Switzerland to get repaired. So just make sure your tripod is steady and locked properly. The tripod does not have to be perfectly level. It kind of helps a little bit, but there are geometry corrections we can do in the software. It's actually a computer automatically does those corrections to where it doesn't particularly matter if your tripod is super level or not. There's all kind of adjustments on the tripod. I'm sure you can figure those out on your own, but to take a scan, all you do is tap the power button once. Don't have to hold it down, just tap it once, and I'll kind of show you what it looks like as it's doing a scan. I'll mention I just set it on low resolution just so this goes faster, but I'll set it on the higher resolution before I send it to you, so it'll go a little bit slower. So first it'll do this full twirl around just to kind of get oriented. And like I mentioned, the cameras are all on one side of the unit. And so what you want to do while it's scanning, it'll kind of go in steps first, and that's how it's taking pictures is what it's doing on the first go around. And if you're standing around the camera, what you want to do is always stand looking at the power button side. If you're always on that 180-degree side of the camera, you'll avoid being in the shot. So as you can see, I'm like kind of working my way around the tripod as it's spinning around here. And as long as I'm always looking at the power button side, I'm good. So it just did one revolution. It's done with pictures. Now you can see the mirror started spinning, or maybe you won't be able to see it until a minute from now. It's going to reorient itself. There it goes. So now it's taken Now it's shooting out lasers in a plane that kind of looks like this. Like I said, that's lined up with the slots in the scanner. So as long as you stay out of that plane, you shouldn't have an issue, and you won't be in the shot. Or like I said, you can turn it on, hit scan, and then leave the area real quick before it actually starts scanning. That's another way to do it. So this is low resolution. Like I said, it should take like, I don't know, a minute or two to do a scan. On the higher resolution, it's like something like 5.5, 6 minutes to do a scan, including all the pictures and stuff. So it'll take a little bit longer. Then when it's done, it turns green, and you're good to go. So you can move the tripod to another location and hit the button again to do another scan. Or in this case, I'm just going to hold the button down until it starts blinking, and that's powering it down. There we go. All right. Like I said, carefully take it out. When you're putting it back in this case, what I always do is I take the bottom piece, put that on there first, and then the handle of this thing lines up with the slots of the unit, so it kind of goes on like that. And then there's some little marks on here. There's a little arrow and the mark, so line those up and then twist it so that the arrow or the mark goes to the lock position. That's how you know it's locked in the case. A couple things I'm going to put in this package here. There's a extra battery with the battery charger, and that's pretty self-explanatory. One battery should be able to do like something like 75 or 100 scans, so you should be fine there. I'll give you the little carry case for it, and that's pretty much it. As you're scanning, just be aware that it is laser, so it's limited by line of sight, so it's better if you get multiple scans within any location, even if it's a small location, just so you avoid shadows in the scene, and you're able to capture all the three-dimensional objects from different angles. It sort of gets you the best product when you stitch all those scenes together. Also, I've had one or two instances, and it's probably 1 out of every 50 scans, where I don't know what it is. Something happens with the scanner where the pictures just get all messed up, and like it comes out almost all white, and it's really bizarre. So I would recommend that if you're since you're not going to be able to look at the data before you send it back to us, maybe just take 2 scans in every location, at least 2. Just take way more than you need, because there's no harm in having more data. We can always post-process things out, or choose what we want later, or that kind of thing. So being that you can't see it before you send it back, more data is better than less. Other than that, give me a call if you need any help with this thing. Again, it's super easy, and I hope it does what you want it to do. All right.